thinking about water a lot. If it's not drought, it's flood. The recent rain, while not enough to address years of drought, brings back many traumatizing memories for Albertans who experienced the 2013 floods. We know that southern Alberta needs over 200 millimetres of rain to adequately address the drought they're in, but if the 70 millimetres forecasted turns into that, we'll get flash floods. What is the Minister of Environment and Protected Areas doing to alleviate Albertans' fear and concerns around flood? Are we prepared?
The Honourable the Minister of Environment and Protected Areas.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and I do want to thank the member for that great question. As we've said since the beginning, is we want to be prepared for any situation. Obviously, over the last number of months, there was a lot of concern about drought, especially in our southern basins, where there are a lot of demands for those water resources. That said, we're also working with the Ministries of Forestry and Parks to obviously prepare for wildfire season. We're also working with the Ministry of Public Safety, Mr. Speaker, to make sure that we are also prepared for floods. And Mr. Speaker, that is not unique in this year. We also work with our partners in municipalities across the province.
The Honourable Member for Banff-Kananaskis.
Well, given that flood response has been a big focus of government for the last 11 years, and large-scale infrastructure projects that cost billions of dollars continue to be a part of the provincial annual budget, given that the Springbank Reservoir and the Cougar Creek Debris Dam are large infrastructure projects designed to protect several communities from Canmore to Calgary, and yet neither are completed, let alone operational today. Can the Minister explain why both of these projects have taken longer and cost more money than originally planned? And what will happen if it does flood this year and these aren't done?
The Honourable the Minister of Environment and Protected Area.
Mr. Speaker, in this year's budget 2024, we are making additional commitments when it comes to water infrastructure. We've also been working with ag and irrigation and gathering feedback from Albertans right across our province on areas where other water infrastructure to make sure that we have what we need to manage either flood or drought situations moving forward. We are moving forward very quickly, as we've articulated. We do not have enough of that infrastructure in place right now. We know that there's more to be done. We're speeding that up. We're moving ahead, whether it's Ardley, Airmore, or Bow River Reservoir options.
The Honourable Member.
Given that clearly Alberta's challenges with flood and drought are really just about water, where it is and when it is and how we manage it, given that climate change models have consistently predicted increasing intensities of both flood and drought for years, given that the UCP has no climate action plan to address dramatic fluctuations in water levels, and given that what we really need is a plan to build community and ecosystem resiliency to changing levels of water. What is the Ministry of Environment and Protected Areas doing to look at and address the big picture, the climate change picture?
The Honourable the Minister of Environment.
Mr. Speaker, first and foremost, I would say this is why we rolled out our emissions reduction and energy development plan last spring. It's also why we continue to make record level investments when it comes to protecting our watersheds, investing in flood and drought mitigation infrastructure, our drought and flood protection program that municipalities, First Nations, and community groups can access to make sure that they have the infrastructure in place to be resilient in those types of situations. We are absolutely committed to this work. And further, Mr. Speaker, the Premier has also asked me to prioritize reviewing our water allocations so that we can maximize that for generations to come.
The Honourable